We had a large swath of rain this morning, and right now we are tracking a pretty hefty thunderstorm. That's going to be to the south and east of Houston. You can see these deep red colors. That's a heavy downpour with frequent lightning strikes embedded as well. A closer look is going to show you areas from Mont Belvieu to Baytown, LaPorte. This is where we're seeing the heaviest of the downpours as it passes overhead, ponding on our streets. That's going to be a big concern, especially because for many folks, this is not the first round of rain. This is one of several rounds we've been tracking through the day today. In fact, I want to put this in motion over the last hour, and you can see that cell. The one benefit is that it is moving extremely fast. In fact, it cleared the entire Houston metro area, beltway to beltway, in about 35 minutes. And now it's continuing to push towards the bay. So if you're in the thick of this and you need to head outside, I would just hunker down and wait it out, because this storm thankfully is moving extremely fast. Now, this is just the first leg for many. You'll notice behind it, we've got another swath of rain showers pushing its way in. And this is just a few of the rounds we're tracking today. In fact, as we head into the afternoon, we're going to continue to see more on and off rain showers. In fact, this evening, we're going to be watching as a stronger cold front rolls through the area. That's going to bring with it our highest severe weather threat, but also with how much rain's already come down, we're going to be monitoring for the possibility of any street flooding. By 5 o'clock tonight, we'll still be tracking thunderstorms rolling in from the northwest, continuing to advance towards the southeast with lingering showers into the evening hours. You'll notice once we get towards 8 o'clock, most of the heaviest stuff is going to be to the south and to the east of Houston, but lingering showers certainly not out of the question. As we go into the weekend, in fact, we're going to see huge changes with that cooler weather. But for now, really, the primary concern is going to be these scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially on the east side of town. The concern here is going to be wet roads causing travel hazards. In fact, we've got our own reporter, Devin, out in the field. Devin, here at the studio, where we are still seeing downpours at 11 a.m. We had a really intense storm. And the thing is, once those storms pass through, because we're tracking rounds of rainfall, you're going to continue to see more soggy weather. I'm talking showers lingering behind the storms. And because we've got several waves coming, we still do have that flood watch in place. This is going to be in place through 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So through the rest of the day today, the most important thing, give yourself extra time for driving. When in doubt, find another route. It is extremely easy to misjudge the depth of water in a road, and this is why we say just don't do it. Find another route around the rainfall and any flooded roadways. You'll notice on our Storm Tracker 2 radar, we are still tracking some really electric storms passing their way across the bay. A closer look is going to show you pushing into Chambers County, Baytown, up towards Mont Belvieu. You were just in the thick of it. This is going to be impacting Chambers County and far southeast Liberty County there as well. But if you're in Galveston Island, you're also going to be clipped by this heavy downpour. Now, when this storm passes through, it is going to bring with it the possibility of some gusty winds as well. So it's best as you head inside as that storm passes through. I also want to talk about just how electric it is. This just shows how strong these storms are. And it's not out of the question that one or two storms could go severe through the rest of the day today. Overnight last night, we actually saw hail reported across Sugar Land. Not out of the question we could see some of those storms today, but I certainly do think the greater threat is flooding. You can see more showers pushing towards 288. Look at Katy. They just keep having rainfall. They had rounds overnight, rounds this morning, more rainfall pushing in, and that's going to be what we see through the rest of the day today. This round is just our midday round. We're expecting another round of showers and storms as our actual front starts to approach the area into this afternoon. Now, I do think this is going to be our greatest threat of severe weather, really from 2 p.m. through 8 p.m. 4 o'clock, you can see these storms passing through the Houston area. Some of them can be a bit intense, but because we've already seen so much rainfall today, our greatest threat is going to be the possibility of street flooding. At 7 o'clock, we're still going to be tracking those thunderstorms pushing to the southeast here in Houston. Some lingering showers and storms absolutely possible. In fact, through the rest of the night tonight, I think showers are going to be likely, which is why if you have any outdoor plans on tonight, make sure you have that indoor option. You are absolutely going to use it. Now, Saturday, things start to get significantly better. This is a cold front we're forecasting, which means low temperatures tonight, mid-50s here in Houston, lower 50s to our north. Some spots likely by the end of the weekend dropping back into the 40s. And today is May 1st. We're not guaranteed 40s in May. Take a look at our playground forecast. This is for Saturday, starting off chilly, cloudy, and breezy. Winds are going to be coming from the north up to 20 miles per hour. But as we go through the day, the sunshine's going to come out, low humidity, highs in the upper 60s and the lower 70s. This is our Saturday, and I think Sunday's the better day. Sunday, the winds are going to be more calm. This is going to make it feel slightly more pleasant. Ample sunshine, low humidity. Temperatures mid to upper 70s, so just a touch warmer. And then we're going to continue to see that warming trend as we go through next week. In fact, you'll notice those cooler low temperatures only with us Saturday and Sunday. As we head into next week, lows are going to start to warm back up. Afternoon high temperatures by Tuesday and Wednesday already back to near 90 degrees here in the Houston area. So our extended forecast is going to show today is the wet day, still keeping an 100% chance of rain. Saturday and Sunday, spectacular. Get yourself some brunch plans. Next weekend, once again, we're going to be tracking rainfall. But for the rest of the day today, primary concern are showers and thunderstorms making the roads a mess. Let's check back in with our own. We've got rounds of rainfall coming in. Not just here right now, we're also tracking some thunderstorms closer to I-35 between Austin and San Antonio. Those are going to be impacting southeast Texas as well. So right now we've got a strong thunderstorm pushing its way across Chambers and Liberty County. You can see that deep red color, frequent lightning strikes, and even a marine advisory in place. That's because any of these thunderstorms can produce intense gusty winds. Not severe thunderstorm warning I want to get to right away. That severe thunderstorm warning is going to be for portions of Jackson and Matagorda counties. That's going to be well to the south and west of Houston. You can see this storm. It is packing a punch. Palacios up towards Bay City. Bay City, you are about to see the bulk of it. Now, here's the benefit of this storm. Flooding, less of a concern just based on how fast it's moving. It is pushing to the east at 60 miles per hour, but as it does, it's capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch sized hail. You'll notice an extremely electric line of storms racing its way to the east up into Wharton County, Wharton to El Campo, an extremely electric line of storms rolling their way through. As this rolls to the east, pretty soon this is going to clip areas like Angleton, Lake Jackson, portions of 288 up into Sugar Land as well. The southern edge of that storm certainly going to be the strongest portion. That's going to continue to move to the east. Like I said, because it's moving so fast, flooding risk is going to be less, but as it pushes overhead, you're going to be seeing torrential rainfalls. As for us here in the Houston area, we are continuing to see on and off thunderstorms. You'll notice, especially on the east side of town, Clear Lake up towards Mont Bellevue, Baytown, Cloverleaf. This is where we have a heavy thunderstorm overhead. And between the rounds of thunderstorms, you're going to continue to see light to moderate rain showers. The concern here is that with all of this water accumulation, we can see the potential for street flooding. Continuing up to the northeast, and you can see we've got showers and thunderstorms from Katy up towards Brenham. But this is what we're tracking right now, that strong cell pushing through Matagorda County. I wanted to show you a wider view to show you this is the actual front that we're tracking as it advances to the east. This is going to bring with it a severe weather threat to the Houston area as we head through this evening, and everybody still has that flood watch. So far, we've been doing pretty okay with flooding because we've seen breaks in between the rainfall, but it's still going to be a rough time out there on the roads.
Certainly is, Caroline. Thanks.
Streams that has gone into the red, which means flooding is going to be likely. This, as we go through the afternoon, this is the concern, especially based on how much rainfall we've seen. You can see here in Houston, over 2 inches of rain, but up towards Mound Creek, that's where we've seen 3 to 4 to even 5 inches of rain just across the day today. And we are not done yet. In fact, we are continuing to see more rounds of thunderstorms and showers push through the area. Storm Tracker 2 radar is going to show you a lot of action happening here across Houston, but I'm actually going to start with Matagorda Bay, and then we're going to work our way to the north and to the east. We're starting with Matagorda Bay because this is where we have a severe thunderstorm warning that's really, for a thunderstorm that's moving extremely fast. This is pushing to the east at 50 miles per hour. It rolled through Palacios, and as it did, the airport in Palacios saw a 77 mile per hour wind gust. And it's not just the gusts within this storm. We're also tracking the possibility of 1-inch hail. Bay City, you are about to see the worst of it, and this is going to continue, thankfully, to push off into the Gulf. Really only has those barrier islands. Continuing further inland, this is not a warned storm, but let me tell you, this is a strong storm from Bay City, northern Matagorda County into Wharton County. This is producing frequent lightning strikes, torrential downpours, and as this pushes to the east, this is moving through an area that hasn't seen a lot of activity today, which is why it will have that severe weather potential. This is going to clip southern portions of Fort Bend County. This very soon is going to be at 288 Angleton, Lake Jackson. I can't stress enough. This line is moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. That means before we know it, it's going to be at the Bay. Okay, Houston, right now you've got some heavy downpours rolling inside the loop. We've been getting word of extremely slow traffic inside the loop, and you can expect this likely over the next several hours. In fact, as a reminder, not only are we going to see this line of storms, but even behind it, light showers are going to continue to remain possible through the evening. So we've got the severe weather threat, but also our flood watch in place through 4 a.m. on Saturday morning. Future Track showing the heaviest of the storms really from now through 5 p.m. with showers and storms still lingering into the 6 o'clock hour. In fact, even by 7, some lingering showers. At this point, our primary threat is going to be high floodwater potential. If you're heading out to the Toyota Center today, game 6 of the Rockets, I think things are going to be improving. Certainly going to be mostly dry by midnight. And then as we head into Saturday, huge changes. This is a cold front after all, which is why tonight temperatures dropping upper 40s to our north, mid 50s here in Houston. Your playground forecast for Saturday, spectacular. Get outside, sunshine, low humidity, highs in the lower 70s. Allergy report, mold spores probably going to spike because of all this rainfall, but you'll notice on our rounds of showers and storms, and I think what we're seeing right now is the last really heavy one. This is the actual front pushing through. You can see south of I-10 where they haven't seen as much rainfall today. That's where we have some pretty intense thunderstorms. Now, the reason why I have this looping over the last hour is because I want to show you how fast everything is moving. Specifically, this strong storm by Lake Jackson, this is pushing to the east at 45 miles per hour. That means if you're experiencing an intense downpour, I would just wait it out. If you don't have to get on the roads, don't. You can see we've got those thunderstorms pushing their way to the east extremely fast. Angleton, Lake Jackson, very soon this is going to be upon you. And the reason why you see this white box, it's just shy of a severe thunderstorm warning. It's considered a special weather statement because this is capable of producing 40 mile per hour wind gusts in addition to some small hail. As this keeps pushing to the east, Texas City, Galveston, this will likely be there within the next 45 minutes. By the end of the hour, this is already going to be in Chambers County. Let's continue up to the north because I want to show you, I'm actually going to pause the radar. This green box around Houston, this is our brand new aerial flood advisory. That's because in this area, we've already seen 2 to 4 inches of rain. And as we go through the rest of the day today, an additional 1 to 2 is possible, which can cause flooding in low-lying areas, poor drainage spots, streams, certainly certainly something we're going to keep a close eye on. I want to show you just to the east of town around Baytown. This is where we have moderate to heavy downpours. These have been on and off through the entire day. And as we go through the next few hours, we're going to continue to see this push through. In fact, if we switch this over to our national radar, you'll notice once the heaviest storms move through, we're going to continue to see scattered showers, but it's not as widespread. In fact, this is going to be the worst of it, but it's not coming at a good time. In fact, let's toss it over to our reporter, Devin Clark, who's been on the
Yeah, giant monster truck
That's
that we
right.
have,
So
the Storm Tracker.
Be careful out there. You
Yes.
were looking at rain totals so far, I guess, is our accumulation thus far.
Absolutely, because it has been really high. Now, thankfully, because we've had breaks between the rounds of rain, we haven't had as widespread of flooding concerns.
Good.
But we do still have a flood advisory. I want to show that towards Hempstead. That's radar estimated 4 to 6 inches of rain. In fact, that's why when we check our stream statuses, we've got one in the red, flooding likely. That's going to be Mound Creek at FM 36, over 3 inches of rain. We're going to continue to be tracking our channels and our streams. But right now, I want to show you what's actively happening here on radar because we are still extremely active. In fact, take a look. Those thunderstorms we were tracking, they've already pushed past 288. That's one thing to keep in mind. Today, these storms, they are flying. This is currently pushing off to the east at 45 miles per hour. Angleton, Lake Jackson, you're already on the backside of this, which means Danbury's in the thick of it as this continues to push through. Pretty soon, Santa Fe, Bayou Vista, south side of Alvin can be seeing some heavier downpours, but really the closer to the coast you are, the more intense this storm is going to be. That means if you're on the island, well, buckle up. This thing is heading in your direction, and it's capable of producing 40-mile-per-hour winds and small hail. Continuing further inland, you can see all of those warmer colors, the orange, the yellow. That's going to be a more moderate, steady downpour. This is likely causing a mess out there. If we put our radar in motion, over the last hour, the general trend is shifting off to the east. But look at this. We are seeing some dry air starting to come in. But know that over the next few hours, scattered showers still going to be possible. Storm Tracker 2 radar. If we put it wide, you'll notice San Antonio and Austin still dealing with those showers. So any Friday night plans, I would continue to use that indoor option. Flood watch in place through 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. And hey, by tomorrow morning, it's going to be really nice. A bit breezy from the north, but temperatures mid-50s, upper 40s to our north. And our playground forecast, take the kiddos to the park tomorrow. Sunshine, low humidity, upper 60s, lower 70s. And if you're thinking, maybe that's too cold for May, well, good news, because Sunday, also beautiful. The only difference is Sunday is going to be a touch warmer. Now, we're going to keep seeing some lingering showers, but after what we've seen, we can deal with some lingering showers. You'll notice the heaviest of the storms now to the south, east of Houston. This is the first time I've been able to say that. And as they continue to push to the east, they are pushing out of here. Santa Fe just on the very edge of that. Hitchcock, you're going to be seeing this extremely soon. This is pushing across Galveston Island. Very soon, it's going to be on the east end of Galveston Island, Texas City, Dickinson, Gulf Freeway, NASA certainly about to see a heavy thunderstorm. And this is still considered a strong thunderstorm that's capable of producing 40-mile-per-hour winds. As these storms rolled through Palacios, we saw a 77-mile-per-hour wind gust. That's why we keep talking about power outages. Let me show you what we're tracking here across the Houston area because we still do have that flood advisory in place. That's going to be in place through 6:30, and you'll notice on the northwest side of town from the Heights down through Tanglewood and Memorial, that's where we have moderate rain showers. And as we go through the next few hours, this is going to continue to be shifting its way off towards the east. At times, we're going to start to see breaks. In fact, more breaks than not as we go through the next few hours, but do know that it's going to continue to stay soggy. In fact, if you look over towards Austin and San Antonio, more rain and even some thunderstorms embedded within. As this pushes through, it's going to keep us soggy. So if you're fortunate enough to head to Game 6 of the Rockets tonight, I think getting to the game, you could have a little bit of trouble, but by the time you're heading home, hopefully with Rockets forcing Game 7, things are going to be looking looking a lot more dry. But don't forget, we're still tracking the possibility of flooding. Our flood warning is in place through 6:30, flood watch through early tomorrow morning. Main concern is ponding on the roads. In fact, to check on the roads, let's bring in
Evidence of let up.
Yeah, it's certainly an encouraging sign, especially as we've seen the soaking rainfall we needed. And now as we go through the next few hours, things are going to get better, which is great for any Rockets watch parties. Anyone lucky enough to go to Game 6. I mean, big night here in Houston.
Night.
I do want to say, don't let your concern is downstream flooding as well. So this is why we continue to stay vigilant, even if the heaviest of the rain has already let up. Right now, Storm Tracker 2 radar, easy to see where the heaviest of it is. That's going to be impacting Galveston Island. In fact, I bet a Galveston live cam would be wild right now. You can see heavy downpours, frequent lightning strikes. This system moving in extremely fast. Texas City down through the east end of Galveston, seeing the heaviest of the storms, frequent lightning strikes as well. And this is going to continue to clip coastal portions of Chambers County as well. They have just been seeing constant rainfall today. Continuing up through Liberty County, you can see moderate downpours continuing. Huntsville also seeing scattered showers. In the Houston area within our flood advisory, you can see we've got a band of moderate to heavy rain continuing to push its way through. This is going to be on and off through the next few hours. At times, it's going to be moderate. At times, it's going to totally stop. But if you've got evening plans tonight, I would do an inside reservation because we are going to continue to see scattered rain showers even behind this system. In fact, you can see on our Storm Tracker 2 radar, if we zoom out, you'll notice showers pushing through Columbus, moving in from Austin and San Antonio. That's going to keep us soggy through, I think, at least 11 p.m. In fact, it's not going to be until tomorrow morning that we'll find better. Tomorrow morning, 54 here in Houston, 51 in Huntsville. Some locations could be dropping into the upper 40s for our first Saturday in May. In fact, our playground forecast, fabulous. It is going to be a bit breezy tomorrow. Winds coming from the north up to 20 miles per hour. But look at these temperatures struggling to get out of the 60s, lower 70s for highs on our Saturday. And then on Sunday, slightly warmer, but winds are going to be more calm, low humidity, 78 degrees. It is going to be a spectacular Sunday ahead. In fact, you should try to get out and enjoy it because as we head through next week, you're going to see those temperatures start to increase. Our lows back into the 70s and our high temperatures climbing right back to near 90 degrees as we go Tuesday and Wednesday. So our extended forecast is going to show the warm